Hey, welcome back or welcome for the first time. I'm Jolie and I'm really happy you're here. This is where my days slow down a little and I start preparing for the next month one page at a time. In the place where these journals come to life, the month of May is connected with letters and books, with rain and flowers, and also with the end of the school year for young children. And for me, it's even more special because my mother has birthday. In Bulgaria, we'll celebrate the Day of Slavic Literacy on May 24th. That's why I decided to weave the magic of books into my journal this month without turning it fully into a reading journal. For the reading journal, we will see each other in another video. A while ago, I saw this beautiful window surrounded by books and I knew I wanted to recreate it in my journal. For the first time, I allowed myself to cut a piece out of the middle of the page. It was both scary and exciting at the same time. I've always dreamed of having a window like this, with a cozy reading space beside it. I imagined myself sitting there, watching the clouds drift by, seeing the moon appear and disappear, and the stars softly shining in the middle of the night, while I whisper to myself just one more chapter. I love the colors of this tape so much. They're soft, romantic, and gentle. I decided to place it in a few spots, but drawing the books neatly arranged on the shelves turned out to be such a calming and enjoyable process. after gaining a bit more experience with visualizing and using different journal pages, I decided to give myself more freedom to write and to keep the decoration simpler and more minimal. Slowly but surely, functionality is becoming more important than decoration in my bullet journal. Still, the main page has to be inspiring, and I've noticed that I spend more time than expected on my mood and habit trackers. They've become some of my favorite pages. For the weekly pages, I decided to divide them into 4 sections on the left and 4 on the right, leaving space in between for PET tapes with books and plants. My mood tracker is my favorite again. Staying with the book theme, I thought it makes perfect sense to have more than one book in a day, just like you can have more than one mood in a day. It'll always be easy for me to track and color them since I'll have my journal close to me almost all the time this month. The little kitten stickers, they always lift my mood and make me smile. I went back to the beginning to add the monthly calendar and a few more decorations. I really like the stamped effect along the edges of the paper. progress, not perfection. The moment I decided to start posting without waiting for everything to be perfect, I felt so alive and happy. And I knew this was the perfect quote. I also decided to keep the 4 project categories I've been working with over the past 2 months, the ones you've already seen on this channel. With each new month, I realize more and more how helpful it is to track what you're working on and when, especially during very busy months. And this one will definitely be busy. The previous 2 months helped me prepare. I can now plan things better and organize them much faster in the order I need. This month, I decided to split 2 project pages between the 4 projects. I can use half of the page for a calendar and notes, so it works out really well. Also, it's so funny how I put lazy in my mood tracker for my busiest month. We can check in the end of the month how many days I felt lazy. Also, I finally got my printer back. It repaired, and I started experimenting with the stickers. The first ones I made were the project icons, and I'm so happy with how they turned out. Also, while I was editing this video, I realized that the icon of the courses looked a little bit like a toilet. Did you see that too? If yes, let me know in the comments. Some of the spreads I created for May didn't turn out the way I wanted, like the spending tracker and the habit tracker. At first, I placed the brain dump and memories on the last spread, but then I realized I desperately need a posting timeline planner. I have so many things to post this month related to 3 of the 4 projects I'm working on, so I had to improvise a little. That's how I ended up covering the original titles I had already written. In the end, I glued over the spending tracker and habit tracker and created completely new spread instead. For the new habit tracker and spending tracker, I started with the things that I track using colors, steps, and sleep. For the steps, I divided them into 4 categories. We'll use green, orange, pink, and red. For sleep, the categories are 3. We'll use green, orange, and pink. This month, I also added a reading tracker because I know I'll be reading more. These next few months are usually when I read the most. I'm still searching for the right design for my spending tracker. This time I decided not to dedicate a full spread to it, since I'll only be writing down the date, category, and amount when I usually spend money, which thankfully is not every single day. I wasn't sure how to continue with the other habits I'm tracking, and I'm pretty sure that there was at least one more I wanted to include this month, but of course I forgot to write it down. I decided to draw a circle for each day, coloring it green if I did the habit and red if I didn't. I left some extra space in case I remember what else I wanted to track alongside meditation and workout. After that, I went back to my row and do section and I got some really lovely prompts. Write about someone I love, write advice I'd give to my past self, make a warm drink, experiment with color, create a collage, celebrate a small win, make an aesthetic list, light a candle and relax. I'm planning to make tea and light a candle one of these mornings while the whole family is still asleep and the world outside is just waking up. I'm lucky to live in a part of the city where sometimes the only sound I hear are birds and a few roosters. For the memories page, I decided to create Instagram style collage, one just for me and one with my family. I'll print them and glue them onto the page. I'm sure this will make me smile every time I look at it, and in the end of the year, it will be so nice to revisit these moments. And yes, one of the roles actually gave me the idea for the memory collages. I'm sure you guessed that. I write brain dump and memory in pencil, and I'll only trace them with color once I decide to actually use them. In one of the previous months, my brain dump completely exceeds the space I had prepared for it. And I think that's everything May set up. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. See you soon with many more projects here on this channel.